Welcome everybody to our regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Perry. Let's go ahead and call our meeting to order and have roll call.
Coffee.
Here.
Bledsoe.
Here.
Marshall. Here. Davis. Here. Coldiron.
Here.
Ruck.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
O'Shea. Worthing.
Here. All right, we have quorum and quite the crowd here with us tonight. So let's go ahead and kick it off with an invocation by Pastor Ronnie. You can do that for us?
How are you, sir?
Doing good.
I am Ronnie with Life 180 Church. I've been here quite a few times. I will tell on myself a little bit. This is my son Gatlin who's here with me. Every time I've ever come to pray, Gatlin's come with me and sat in the car. And this week I said, "You can go in with me." And he's like, "Really?" And so he was excited to come in and kind of see how council kicks off and gets started. Life 180, we're growing, doing good things. I had a packed house again Sunday, and we're excited about the possibility in the near future to build out on our land. As we told you last time we were here, just got a lot of things going on within the church. With Ministerial Alliance, the same. Kind of talk about some of these things, and I'll pray and get out of here. Last week with Ministerial Alliance, we were able to prepare breakfast and feed the Perry school system their first day back. And that was an awesome thing that the Ministerial Alliance tries to do each year. Thankful to be a part of that. This past Friday was the food pantry shopping day here at our local food pantry, and had 64 families, 157 individuals come through, and that's just for half the month. They're seeing about 120 families a month come through right now, which is pretty large as far as that goes. We are seeing a lot of families just in need in general monthly here. I mean, it's 107 degrees. I get it, and I'm not saying that lightly, but we're seeing more of that. The soup kitchen's coming up. Life 180 is going to feed here in 2 weeks at the soup kitchen. Last time we fed there, I think we served 112 meals. I think they said last month there was 80 or 90 meals. So there's just a lot of people coming through looking for assistance, looking for help, and so I'm thankful to be a part of a community that has a desire to help those people, and for you as a city to do all that you're doing to try to step in and help them as well. So let me pray and I'll let you guys go at it. Heavenly Father God, as I come to you, I thank you for today. I thank you for who you are and what you're doing in our lives and in our city. And God, I just pray that you would be with these men and women as they make decisions. God, you would just help them clear their mind of things that's gone on earlier this week or today or what's coming up next week, God. And they could just focus on the agenda they have in front of them, God. They could just focus on the business they have. God, I just pray you would just keep your hand upon them, protect them. God, I thank you for each and every one of them and their commitment, God. We thank you most of all for your son Jesus and for the blood that was shed on the cross. We ask you to forgive us of our sins. We love you and we praise you. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Pastor Ronnie. All right. So actually, before we get started today, I did want to take a moment and recognize and send our condolences to the Eversole family. As a council, as we know, Barbara passed away and she had her funeral today. She had served on council a few years back, and so we wish her family condolences and that they're doing all right. So we will continue on with item number 1, our consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Coldiron.
Yes.
Ruck.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Worthing.
Yes. Okay, we'll go down to item number 4, comments from those assembled pertaining to items on the city agenda. Seeing none. Move on to item number 5, proclamations, commendations, reports, and inquiries by the governing body. So we actually do have a commendation for this evening. Chief Thomas, kick it over to you.
So, this is the second council meeting. I've got to do something really special. So, just a quick story. I remember when Lieutenant Odell started, we were short-handed and they said, "Can you come in and FTO with him? He's brand new." And I said, "Sure." We came in, he was driving, and I tell everybody this, I just love this story. So I said, "Let's go." We went 7th Street, Locust, 15th, Fur. 7th Street, Locust, 15th, Fur. Radar, radar, radar. And I said, "You know, there is other places we can patrol." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, yeah." But I just always smile. I think about it. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years now since that happened. So you can come up here, Lieutenant Odell. So, on August 1st, 2006, Brian Odell joined the Perry Police Department as a certified officer. He has served this community in the capacity for over 20 years. During his time, he has served as a patrol officer, canine handler, field training officer, patrol supervisor, patrol commander, and school resource officer. Despite his many roles, Lieutenant Odell has excelled in his service to the faculty, staff, and students of the Perry Public School as their resource officer. Few officers that enter this profession make it to their 20th anniversary. Those that do seldom have worked for the same department for those 20 years. Even fewer officers have completed this milestone while working for the Perry Police Department. In recognition of his unwavering commitment for the last 20 years to the Perry Police Department and the citizens of the City of Perry, Oklahoma, Lieutenant Odell is authorized to receive the Perry Police Department Award of Merit. He has a great reflection upon himself and to the City of Perry. So at this time, I'm going to give you your merit badge. Put it in the city. Get that later. Then I want to present you with a plaque. It says, presented to Lieutenant Brian Odell, in grateful appreciation of your 20 years in service and dedication to the Perry Police Department and the citizens of Perry, Oklahoma. Dated the 1st of August, 2006. Thank you.
Right. So we actually have a proclamation as well this evening. Matt Love, our judge, dug something up from about 40 years ago. Could you bring that up for us? I don't know how many people know this, but Bryce, our city attorney, as of this month, has been working with the City of Perry for 40 years. That is quite the milestone. And so with that, we have a proclamation for you.
That's my wife back.
That is your wife.
That's my wife.
She is real, everyone. He tells us about you all the time, and none of us believe it. Whereas the City of Perry proudly recognizes and celebrates the extraordinary milestone of 40 years of dedicated service by Bryce Kennedy, whose unwavering commitment to the City of Perry and its citizens have exemplified the highest standards of public service, professionalism, and integrity. And whereas, since beginning his service as city attorney, Bryce Kennedy has faithfully provided sound legal counsel and trusted guidance to generations of mayors, city council members, city managers, boards, commissions, and city staff, helping ensure that the city's business has been conducted fairly, ethically, and in accordance with the law. And whereas, throughout 4 decades of service, Bryce Kennedy has played a vital role in the city's growth and development by assisting with ordinances, contracts, public policy, municipal governance, and countless decisions that have shaped the future of the City of Perry. And whereas his wisdom, professionalism, institutional knowledge, and steadfast dedication have earned the respect and admiration of colleagues, elected officials, employees, and members of the community, making him a valued advisor and an indispensable part of city government. And whereas Bryce Kennedy's enduring commitment to the City of Perry has left a lasting legacy of excellence, integrity, and public service, and his contributions will continue to benefit the community for generations to come. Now, therefore, I, Lawrence Wortham, Mayor of the City of Perry, Oklahoma, on behalf of the Perry City Council and citizens of Perry, do hereby recognize and proclaim August 17th, 2026 as Bryce Kennedy Appreciation Day in the City of Perry, Oklahoma, in recognition of his 40 years of exceptional service as City Attorney.
Smells beautiful.
Wonderful. Thank you, wife. Where's my wife? Here.
She's right over there.
Here, come up and say something.
This way.
Anyway, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This school, this city put our kids through college, through private school. It paid the rent, Thank you. And I have to tell you that the guy I replaced 40 years ago, he was arrested for DUI on the way home. Council meeting. So I tried to uphold the banner and not drink while I work. But that is who I replaced. So
Tried and succeeded.
tried and succeeded.
And so with that, I'll make a motion that we recess for 15 minutes.
Second.
Second, yeah.
Anyway, thank you
Coffee.
very much.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall. Yes. Davis. Yes. Carr.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Worthing.
Yes. Okay, we'll be back in 15 minutes.
What was the phone one?
She just
Did you
trusted
say
he was
what the
gonna
other
do
She
the
didn't know
job.
what the other one was, no. I don't know. Did you get an award at one council meeting?
No.
I haven't ever
That was quick.
Did you ever get close to getting fired? Maybe she came up here.
been. She came in support.
So you didn't get a DUI?
She drove Were you drinking at the council meeting and you needed her to chauffeur you home?
Isn't that a hilarious story?
Oh,
That's-
gosh.
My replacement.
We're back.
All right, we're back.
Motion to reconvene. Second.
Okay, motion and second?
And Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall. Yes. Davis. Yes. Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. Okay, so we will continue on with item number 5, our council reports. Ward 1, Scott?
Even if I did, I couldn't follow all that up.
Austin?
I don't think I have anything.
Okay, Joe? Randy?
Nothing.
Danette?
Nope.
Sammy? Derek? Okay.
It's hot. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Good report. It is hot outside. All right, we'll go on to item number 6, our city manager remarks.
I really wish that I didn't have anything like you guys, but I have a few things, so let's go through them. First of all, Amazon is, they've officially been issued their certificate of occupancy. If you've been out there recently, both the roads are completed, so very exciting. They did offer to take council members on a tour of that facility this week. You guys are interested in doing that? Just by raise of hand, who would be interested in? Okay. Okay, well, let's talk after the meeting and we'll figure out times and then I'll text them. So. All right, so main kill-out project. That's a project that you've assigned me to oversee. We've finished it with the exception of some patching. And looking at it today with our engineer, Matt Coe, and saw that we're about $400,000 under budget just because it's been less difficult than anticipated. You guys gave me the authority in passing this project to me to make change orders. And as we looked at some of the other things in town and talked to Vernon, we would like to make a few different change orders that gets some of those funds used to make some additional main adjustments, including Quail Creek and several other places in town. So unless anyone's drastically opposed to that, I just want to let you know I'm planning on using that authority to continue. We're still planning on coming in quite a bit under budget, but want to knock a few other things out with it. So.
They would still be water main related.
Correct. Yep. So, streets are going well. Still just waiting for things to cool down, but we did get a lot of questions, so we put something up on our website to kind of show the public. And if Tyson will share my screen, I'll show you guys what that looks like. So if you go to the City of Perry website and then scroll down towards the bottom, there is a Streets Projects tab. And if you click on that, we keep this up to date and it has load a little bit. I'm just gonna take that one. Try and refresh.
Live Dennis.
There we go. So you can see the blue are streets we've completed, the yellow are pending other projects, so like the main kill out, and then the green are streets that are on our list as very high priorities. And so as we continue to knock streets out and make progress there, we'll continue to keep this updated so that members of the community can go in and see where we're at with streets.
So city website, scroll down to the bottom, and it says
Streets projects. Yep. And then we'll be talking about this tab a little bit later, projects overview. And I guess I might as well point out while we're here, we do have the strategic plan on the website now too, and it looks fabulous. So anyways, that's the update on streets, just waiting for things to cool down a little bit. Next update is, you guys have asked me for an electric rate and reliability study. We did get that done this week. The rate side, We've reached out to OMPA for some reliability data. They sent that to us this morning, but we haven't had time to analyze that, so I wanted to push that back 2 more weeks if that'd be okay, so I can present it all as one presentation. So I just wanted to let you know that's still on my radar. And then, no, that's all I have unless there's other questions.
I did have a couple of individuals approach me in the news in the last couple of weeks. There's been several cities whose water facilities have been hacked into, and they were just curious if there was anything we were doing or if we felt confident that we were doing what we need to do to make sure that that couldn't or would be difficult to happen in Perry.
Yeah, it's a really good question.
I can actually speak to that real fast.
Okay, thanks, Tyson.
I just had a conversation with Joel Hall, who handles all of our security, the other day, because that came on my radar as well. I was like, hey, we need to take a look at getting some sort of firewall system or something in place. So that is absolutely on our radar.
Thank you.
Great question. All right, Mayor, that's all I have.
Okay. Let's go on to item number 7, quiet zones. What are they and what do they cost? So this is actually a presentation by the intern, Kaylee Lowry. So you've got something all ready for us, right?
And share that screen one more time.
Okay, I've already been here, so I know some of y'all know me, but for those that don't, my name is Kaylee Lowry. I'm a senior at OSU. I'm a double major in management and marketing, and I'm looking into grad school, so this internship has been very helpful as far as where I'm wanting to go. But for this, Nate wanted me to kind of go over all the ins and outs of what a quiet zone looks like in Perry, how we're going to get that. It's all of the tedious parts of that, I guess. So this is just, let me zoom in.
And this should be in your packets if you're having a hard time seeing the screen.
Sorry. So again, this is just the basics of kind of what we're covering. So the requirements, where we currently stand as far as what we have, and then what we'll need to do to update moving forward. And then the options that we can take as far as the different safety measures available and which ones are actually feasible to the town. And then after that, we're going to look at the process of applying and going through waiting periods and all of the requirements for the railroad company itself. Oops. Okay. So a quiet zone is just an established stretch of like railroad that goes through town that does not allow for any train horns to be blown unless certain circumstances, such as like an emergency, requires it. Oklahoma only has 7 established quiet zone. They're kind of spread out throughout the state. There's one in Norman, Ponca City, Tulsa, Woodward, Enid. Oh, Tulsa's on there twice. That's my bad, guys. And the city. There's a few within downtown, but they're all kind of just grouped within the one quiet zone. As I said, this does not completely eliminate the train horns. If there's an emergency, they are going to sound those horns. So it really gets rid of the regularity of it more than anything. Process is very dependent on construction more than anything. A lot of the forms that the city is required to fill out and return to the railroads have an established waiting period or response period. So all of that's kind of set in stone, and most of this will be dependent on any roadblocks we come into with construction and any issues we may have, and how we're going to adjust and kind of re-navigate that. Best estimate would be around 12 to 15 months, but could also take up to 2 years. Again, just depends on the issues that we may run into. The requirements, we don't really have any problems with the requirements when it comes to looking at the railroads we want to update. The section must be half a mile long and begin a 1/4 mile in advance of the railroad and a 1/4 mile after the crossing. And
At least half a mile.
Yes. And then a preliminary engineering agreement with BNSF prior to a diagnostics inspection. This will allow the participants to discuss the proposed plans and the necessary work before actually agreeing to anything and signing into anything. If the diagnostics inspection is done, that does not require the city to move forward with this project if it's deemed unnecessary or too expensive later down the road. And then it's similar with that. After we do the diagnostics inspection, if you do decide to move forward, your next step will be to file a notice of intent, which I know here is marked as an NOI, so just wanted to get that out there. But this notice of intent does have that 60-day comment period from BNSF. So we'll send it in, and then they have 6 days to comment on any specific work or like the plans that we have given in that notice of intent. And then the contractor is decided upon by the city, so you can use any contractor you would like, but that contractor does have to enter into a railroad's right of entry agreement in order to be able to complete that project, like the project for the quiet zone. And then after everything is done, you do have to submit a quiet zone establishment intent or paper. And then that can be made by email or phone. So as long as there's a 60-day advance notice of the establishment. So you send it in, and then there's a 60-day advance notice of that. And then I will kind of explain how I got this first before I go into it. But with BNSF, there is they call it a safety calculator. You're able to enter all of the railroads that you have in the town by their railroad IDs, and it will calculate the risk index that comes from each railroad. And it also pulls like the safety measures that are already at each railroad. So a railroad with the arms is going to have a lower safety index or a higher safety index than one without the arms. And then
So a higher number is good then, as far as safety?
we want a lower number. We want to be lower than it's the quiet zone risk index or the nationwide significant risk index threshold, which we can kind of work around with because you don't have to be lower than both of them. It's just one or the other. So both of those numbers are dependent on like the amount of railroads that you put into that scenario. But this number is based off of like what was given to me in the calculator without any like adjustments made. So in that calculator, I can also go in and I can add the safety measures, and it will reduce that risk index as if that safety measure is installed. I can see if we install this, what will that bring us to? Which I have some graphs later, and it'll be a little bit easier to look at, I think. But for us, in order to qualify for a quiet zone, our risk index with horns, our risk index sits at 23,735, which is exceeding the NSRT and the RIWH. So in order to be ready to apply for a quiet zone and enter an engineering agreement with BNSF, we need to discuss the available safety measures, which is next, I believe. Yeah, so this one, if you guys have it on I would suggest that's probably easier to look at for you. But this is just a graph I've pulled from their calculator that's downloaded on an Excel sheet. So the risk index with horns right now is 14 to 29. That's where we want to be. But the risk index itself is sitting at 23,735. So that's where right now, our risk index is lower because we have horns, but if we remove those horns, we're gonna be back up to that 23,735. So we need that 23,735 to be lower than that given number in the green. I hope that makes sense. And then choosing which roads to focus on really is up to the city, which is really helpful because it can adjust the cost and traffic flow, which is always going to be nice. So traffic, this one I kind of assume would be the biggest one. The more traffic a railroad has, the higher the risk index is going to be. So if we focus on busier railroads, we're able to make a bigger impact by just focusing on one that's busier compared to like two that aren't as busy. So choosing those busier railroads will make a bigger impact if we can just focus on those two versus like four.
Let me interject real quick, Kaylee. So when she says focusing on intersections, right, basically it's improving those intersections, making them safer through either adding arms if they don't have them, adding curbs, adding barricades. I mean, there's various ways we can do that, and the calculator and the scenario she has kind of check different ones.
And then closings, this one is more so just to kind of discuss, Nate mentioned that you guys were discussing an overpass on Fur. Yeah. So I have another graph that also includes like that Fur crossing. It's closed because you build an overpass, there's not going to be any traffic, so it would mitigate the risk index entirely, even though the railroad itself is not closed. But that just kind of talks about if there are railroads within the city that if nobody were to use and we could close those just to mitigate any risk index that they may have, it would still be helpful. Because even though the risk index isn't huge, closing it does mitigate it entirely. And then the risk index, it's not only affected by the traffic frequency, but it's also affected by the warning devices that are already in place. So by knowing where we stand with what safety measures, we can see where railroads need the most attention moving forward. And then we can also use that knowledge of traffic frequency, and it will let us understand where we can make the largest difference in the risk indexes that we have. These are the best safety measure options I found as far as price-wise and then risk index-wise. These two make the difference, but they make the biggest difference with risk, but are also two of the remotely cheaper options to keep it pretty affordable for the city. So the non-traversable curb median is what raises out of the ground, and it won't allow cars to go around any arms, if that makes sense. So it is installed in the center of the roadway, and it prevents traffic from passing in like the opposing lane. So there's an arm, you can't go that way. And then this solution qualifies as an approved safety measure, which allows for little maintenance upkeep, and a lower cost than 4-quadrant gates. But with the curb median, there's a little bit higher likelihood that we run into an issue in construction than anything. Based on the research I've done, the roads that they would do best in should all be pretty clear for a curb median, and you really shouldn't run into any issues as far as installation goes. But I'm not a construction major, so don't take that from me. And then the 4-quadrant gate, this system just adds 2 extra gates to your typical gated railroads. So we'll have 2 gates on each side of the track. So that's pretty self-explanatory.
So there's no way around it.
Yeah, no, you can't. They're on both sides. And then permanent closure, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just permanently closing a railroad. It just, as I said, eliminates the risk entirely. Option most likely only able to be considered for crossings with little to no traffic, or if you have other road adjustment plans, like the overpass. And then these are more of the graphs. In the yellow is going to mark what I have added a median to. So 7th Street, 11th Street, and then both of the Cedar crossings I've added a curb median to. And this one I did also close the Fur crossings just for kind of future reference. Hopefully we get that overpass. That would bring our risk index down to 9307, and our risk index would still, with horns, would still be at around 14 mark with 12, I think that's a 541, 12,000 in that range. So that would give us a lot of wiggle room as far as crossings and any adjustments that would need to go. But me and Nate talked about it, and we were also able to, this is without closing the Fur crossing, so even if that overpass were to not happen, if you still apply the median to the 4 crossings that I just mentioned, we still come under the threshold that we need to meet in order to apply for that quiet zone. So if anything were to happen with that overpass, if you already had these 4 safety measures installed, there would be no issue later down the road. This one also is more of a cost-effective look. We can get away with only adding a curb median to 3 crossings, which will make it a lot cheaper. But we do sit very close to the threshold. And for this one, we actually don't qualify under the risk index with horns, but we do qualify under the national safety risk threshold. So that is 15,488, and our risk index only applied to with the median only applied to 3 of them, is a 15,379. So that one leaves very little wiggle room. It's about 100 or so to kind of adjust and move about. So this one is going to be your best as far as cost-wise, because the less you have to install, the cheaper it's going to be. But for any margin of risk almost, it's going to be better to do the 4, just so that way moving forward, if there is any issues that change, you don't have to kind of redo this whole process again. General cost. The cost is dependent on 2 things, and that is which safety measure you choose and where your starting point is. So typically installation of a non-traversable curb median is cheaper than the installation of the 4-quadrant gates, or even an upgrade from 2 gates to the 4-quadrant system. The non-traversable curb median ranges from $20,000 on the low end to $50,000 on the high end. And then the 4-quadrant gate will cost the city anywhere from $150,000 to $350,000 per crossing to install the safety measure. As mentioned, unfortunately, we can't get an exact cost within these ranges due to the other factors that do play into the installation. They can come into play based on things such as how good of a fit the railroad is for the curb medians, and this can come down to like the geometry of the railroad, the angle, mechanical functions that are already installed with the railroad, and then any other typical problems that may need to be addressed during the construction period. And then what decisions will be best for Perry? Taking into consideration the risk factor adjustment and the cost, choosing the non-reversible curb median seems to be the best option for the city. In order to get our final risk index below the threshold, we would only need to apply the updated safety measures to 3 to 4 of our railroads. When working on the risk reduction table, the roads that were picked were based on heaviest traffic levels in order to create the biggest risk impact while spending as little as possible. Just wanted to reiterate, the risk factor of 9,000 showed on slide 8 is based on the railroad crossings on FERB being closed. So that is pretty important, but it also, from a different standpoint, is not seen as we did do the math, and even with them being open, we could get away with only applying to 4 of them. And then that also just about the alternate scenario in which the crossings are not counted as permanently closed. We already went over that, but I just wanted to make sure it was something I covered. And then the order of filings. So firstly, the city will file their notice of intent and notify all the infected parties, such as the railroads and agencies that are responsible for highway and railroad crossing safety. After the notice of intent, you'll wait the 60-day comment period and allow the affected parties to review your NOI. Following the notice of intent and the 60-day comment period, the requesting agency will use a contractor to fulfill the necessary roadwork and enter the railroad's right of entry agreement. BNSF does require a 60-day advance notice of the quiet zone establishment, which can be made through phone or an email prior to sending the notice of establishment. When and only when the roadwork is completed can the city file their notice of establishment to the FRA, ODOT, and railroads. The NOE must state the day that the quiet zone goes into effect, which must be at least 21 days from when the notice of intent is mailed out. So if you mail it out on the 1st, that cannot be stated to go into effect until the 21st or the 22nd after that. And then these I'm supposed to have, nobody ever got back with me, so I actually don't have them. I was hoping to have copies from a town that already has an established quiet zone for you all to look at and kind of understand what needs to be included in each notice that's been sent. I'm hoping when I get back to work, I can work on still finding that and putting them in a drive somewhere, that way so Nate at least has them if you guys decide to move forward with this. And then I think that's it. Questions, comments, concerns?
So, when you picked your crossings to put the curbing on, how did you land on those 3?
Traffic.
Or 4?
They're the ones with the
So we get
highest
more
traffic.
bang for our buck.
Yes.
They have the highest restrictors.
And then, was the city of Edmond one of those on your list?
Yes, I think so.
Because I noticed they've started putting curbing on a lot of their downtown road crossings.
Were they on there?
I don't think they were on there, but
So that they may be trying or attempting or.
I put Tulsa just so
I
that's
think, I was gonna
why,
say, I think it meant to be Edmond, but you
Yeah.
had Tulsa twice, because it was 7 and there was, so right within the 7.
but Woodward, so what'd you guys do in Woodward?
They ended up closing some of the crossings to go along. That was what actually got the point total high enough to make it.
And it took a long time.
And it took a long time. This isn't, I mean, I know we're giving that kind of a timeline, and
Yeah.
that's the expedient
Yeah, you can't.
piece of everything happened. It's a
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 year, it's like a sidewalk project.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know how that goes.
And-
We're
And-
looking at working on
and
sidewalks,
it's
I
just,
saw 'em.
it's just what it takes to get it through all the checklists and all the pieces.
And they have to approve our plan. That's just the 60-day comment period.
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Make comments on.
But once they've approved our plan and we start the curbing, there's no going back and saying, oh, no, that's not gonna work, correct?
Yeah, from what I understand, that's correct. We're going to, so I actually got a contact with Ponca City, who's one of them who did one in the past and is currently working on another one in their city. And we're gonna meet with him and just ask some more questions, get some more information. But after that, the next step would be to reach out to BNSF for the diagnostic.
And is, I probably should know this, is BNSF the only railroad that goes, we have an east-west and a north-south, are they both Burlington?
All of the railroads within Perry are BNSF, yeah.
Katie, the center curve, how far does it have to extend back from the railroad track on each side?
That one I don't know. It's probably something that is on FRA somewhere, if I had to guess, as far as they kind of just have all of the safety measures available to you on their website. But I don't know that there's a specific length that it has to be as far as distance back, if that makes sense.
The significance that I see in how far that would come back is most of our crossings have a parallel street very close to tracks.
Yes.
So if the center median has to come back into that intersection of that street, it looks like that it may
Yeah.
not work.
Yeah. I wouldn't assume it has to be too far back, because they do have to take out parallel roads that run, and then as far as like traffic lights and then opposite, or crossing traffic. I wouldn't guess it would be much bigger than your typical, distance from the railroad with the arms. You're not technically supposed to be within that distance of the arms.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to continue to go through this process, but I think that the key to this, and what Kaylee did a great job of doing, is identifying kind of a step-by-step process and our next steps. So we still have definitely some major hurdles, but we have a path forward, which I'm excited about.
Well, at least on its surface appears to be doable without us closing more streets.
On its surface, yeah.
100 feet
100 feet?
from the gate arm.
100 feet from the gate arm.
Oh, wow, that would close the side streets then.
I don't know if I paid much attention, but I believe one of the crossings in Edmond, you have to almost use it like a divided highway.
Spaced.
When you're getting ready to enter, you have to turn right, even though you want to go left to go around the curve.
If an intersecting road or commercial driveway is nearby, the minimum length can be reduced to 60. There was another sentence I didn't quite get to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, some of the prettiest areas in Perry are almost unlivable because they're so close to the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
If we could get it to where those whistles aren't going off at every intersection, it would be wonderful.
It would do a lot for downtown as well. I mean, there's been a number of times we've had events, and you've got the trains blasting through. There's been times where we've had
At the YMCA, you can't hear anything.
right. We've had visitors at the Heritage Center doing presentation, or senators or representatives coming in. They have to pause, let the trains go by before they can continue. So that would be good. Any other thoughts or questions, discussion on that?
I mean, could we go ahead and do the curbing thing, whether or not we're approved for a quiet zone? Just as extra safety at the road.
Just start working towards it. I mean, as we budget, as we look forward, we can at least start putting some measures in place. I mean, how much was it again?
It's
like-
$20,000 to $50,000.
Yeah, per curb.
Yeah, that was kind of preliminary research. It'll be interesting. I heard, so talking to Ponca, they said that the improvements they made costed close to $1 million.
On how many?
I don't know. I'll find out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say how many crossings did they do?
Yeah, I haven't talked
They
to
did a
him
lot.
yet, but he said it was their mayor, and he's like, yeah, it costed us about $1 million.
Those
Okay,
would
that's a
have
lot
to,
of,
those
lot of
would have to be
intersections.
done before we declare zone, right?
Correct.
yeah. Would that be something we'd have to
But if
use
we knew-
ENSF contractor, or we can do that ourselves, or?
I think you can choose whatever contractor as long as
Oh, okay.
the contractor enters that right.
Right, but BNSF signs off on it.
But,
right?
yeah, but that-
Yeah, all this stuff has to be approved by them ultimately.
Mhm.
So I think we'll learn more as we talk to the contractor, and then as we do the diagnostic, which will be our initial discussion with BNSF.
Mhm.
Really.
Thank you for your work.
Yeah,
on it.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're gonna go item number 8 and move on to item number 9. Consider, discuss, and take action on resolution number 2026-14, establishing a standard traveler assistance program, declaring a municipal public purpose, establishing eligibility requirements, permitted assistance, expenditure limitations, administrative procedures, documentation, reporting requirements, and safeguards, approving the student traveler assistance form, and providing for an immediate effective date.
Mayor, was there a reason we skipped 8?
It had been taken off?
It's just a reserved item.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the item on the transfer of the airport funds. I thought something had to occur over on the city side, when the truth is, everything just needs to occur over in PMA side, and I didn't want to renumber the item. That's the only reason. So there never really was anything there that needed to be done tonight.
Bryce wanted to give you a sneak peek.
I never have reserved an item, that's kind of first.
So for item number 9, Mayor, this is, sometimes towns will have a process where if they have someone stranded or homeless in their community that wants to go somewhere that has greater support systems, for example, homeless shelters or things like that, the town will pay for their ticket, for example, their ticket to go to that other location. Technically, us doing that is not permitted by law unless we adopt something like this. And so this is our attempt to be within the legal guidelines of using that as a tool when people need help and we're wanting them out of Perry.
Do you remember hearing in this, the individual would have to have an actual destination? It's not that we're just sending them off to wherever.
Yeah.
They have to show that they have somewhere specific that they're going.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a blank check for sure.
Right.
And it doesn't mean we're
and
gonna.
it's not a way to move homeless out of your town. I mean, it's actually getting the person, making sure that there's some service or some place where they can receive help and then helping them get there. It does, though, assist in getting folk want to move along. And without that, you can't really use public dollars. You know, the issue came up, I happened to go to lunch with the chief, and he found a bicycle for somebody that wanted a bike, and that said that they ride out of town if they have one, and they haven't ridden out of town yet. And I started thinking, how could you actually do something? I found this AG case, which had a nice parallel purpose, and I thought, I don't know how often it would be used, but there are times when we ought to help the helpless to move on, and this would help us.
Well, in a town the size of Perry, we have limited resources compared to what some larger communities have.
Yeah, North just passed $8 million homeless shelter. And as soon as they did it, the place where they're gonna put it became a giant camping area. And I think people started, coming in, but there are places that have, that Stillwater has services, has homeless shelters, so.
Whatever happened with the guy that came, I'm talking about a month or so ago? is-
Yeah, the opioid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found out this week we did not get that grant, have not received any additional information as to why.
I think it stated that there was not enough, something, I can't remember how they stated it, but.
Yeah, it seems kind of asinine to me. It's like the money's just sitting there. And that's not like they have to allocate it. It's already there, just sitting to be used. Seemed like a good purpose. But. So yeah, I'll have Melanie look into why that is, and if we can reapply, I'm sure we can, and what we could do to tighten down that opportunity.
Because wasn't it right after he came, the lady that got hit on that day that happened?
It says the board determined that your application failed to propose evidence-based projects as required. That's what it said in the email.
So Nate, on something like this, would we have a list or something of services available other places that could help this person or persons that are
We could certainly put
stranded?
together something. Yeah, I don't know that we have some currently. Typically, it seems like they normally know where they're wanting to go. They're like, oh, I want to this place for this reason, whatever it is. At least that's been my experience.
Well, the one thing we have positive is the Minstrel Alliance. I mean, but it's usually used for families that are on the road. They're going to see a relative. Its times are tough. They'll put them in a motel. They'll give them gas. And my only concern is I don't want us to get on the map saying get to Perry and they'll get you a ticket and get out of there.
Yeah.
But I think that's something Nate and I could really, we have a format saying they meet the criteria to where they get a ticket, because I don't want everybody, I need a ticket. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. I mean, right now, I think we've got probably 6 true homeless people that are out by Love's, underneath the bridges. We've had to run a guy off that was sleeping underneath our Welcome to Perry. That really looks good. You come into town and there's a guy camped out in our sign. One of the preachers actually took one of them to another city, so we got rid of one, but some people, it's unfortunate, just don't help. They just want to stay here, and I don't know, Lieutenant Odell has a shirt that he made, all roads lead to Perry. We don't understand why these people want to stay in Perry when we have no resources, no home shelters, and it's really getting to be a problem with us because we're going call to call and have to deal with them trespassing them here and there and tell them they can't stay. And you would think with businesses, you're not welcome there because they've done something to create a problem, that they would leave. But it's amazing how they want to stay. But that's the only thing I'm concerned about. But I think with Nate and I together, and we sit in the council, we set conditions to where you're eligible for a ticket instead of just being a no door to come into town and you're going to get it right.
Yeah, nothing in this says we have to do it for anybody, but it allows us the opportunity to do it.
But I'd love to see us have available funds if need be with your approval where we can help people. Without an approval, we can't. It's kind of out of everybody's pocket if it's here and there. But if we have something set with the city, I think that'd be a positive for us.
Is this something we'd have to appropriate funds for, or would it be something that come out of general?
Well, come out of the general fund is where it'll be funded for, but right now we haven't budgeted any money for that.
And here's so ordinary assistance shall not exceed, and then that's blank. Do you have is there gonna be something in there?
Yeah,
Or did I
that's
miss
my fault. I was
something
supposed to look up the average price of kind of a bus ticket.
Nate, it's around, you can get from here to Wichita, I think, for like $50.
So that would probably
Yeah, and
be.
is there like a radius that we send them, like we just send them to the next
If
big
we're going to New
town,
York, that's
or-
another issue.
Or
Or
not?
send them where the resources available.
Yeah.
Right, right, yeah.
You don't want to just send them.
No, yeah, it's not like they say, hey, send me to New York, we buy them a flight to New York or something, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, guys, this is gonna be used once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Not gonna be all the time, but if, with how things stand right now, we can't legally do it. So this is asking you for the legal permission to implement this so that we can if the opportunity comes in.
And we would keep record of who did it, so if they come back, we're not sending them off again.
Right.
Yeah, small town, I think these guys
Yeah.
know pretty much all the homeless guys by name.
I just want to make sure that if we do it once or twice a year, it's $50 to $100 and not $1,000 to $2,000.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
Well, this is Tim Bryce's car on his way back to Norman since they have an $8 million shelter.
Can you get a bigger car?
I'm sorry.
Do you need to get a bigger car?
I would.
that
You can
drive?
take them down with you.
Like a 6 or 7 passenger. Easy grade.
I'll second that.
Coffee.
I'll say yes, but I'd like to know, if you bring us an amount back?
Why don't we
Can
go
we
with,
put an amount on that?
we
On that
go with
motion?
50 and you guys, because ultimately this doesn't allocate the funds, you'll have to allocate the funds. whatever.
Right.
So this just gives us the permission to do it.
Can you update your motion? To,
That's part, I mean, it's in here. Expenditure limitations and documentation. We still have to do that anyway, it has to be appropriated. And appropriated, so. don't
so
know.
I would say no.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
And Wortham.
Yes. All right. Item number 10, consider 3 items pertain to amendments to the planned unit development ordinance. A, receive the recommendation of the Perry Planning Commission regarding ordinance number 2026-12, amend the city's planned unit development regulations. And B, and so their recommendation is B, which they did pass in their meeting previous to this one. Consider approval of ordinance number 2026-12 of the City Council of the City of Perry, Oklahoma, amending Perry Municipal Code 2022, supplement number 2, chapter 12, article 2, relating to planned unit developments, amending the introductory paragraph of section 12-296C.B, adding a new subsection 12 to section 12-296C.B entitled Waivers, Modifications, and Alternative Compliance, amending section 12-296D.C.3.J and sections 12-296D.C.3.Q, establishing standards and procedures for waivers, modifications, and alternative compliance measures, requiring separate written requests, justification and findings for each requested departure, establishing procedures for amendments after approval of a planned unit development, establishing requirements for modifications of perimeter setbacks and corner visibility standards, requiring representative architectural and visual materials for residential planned unit developments, requiring the statement of intent to identify binding and illustrative architectural characteristics, providing for repealer, savings, codification, severability, penalty, and declaring an emergency.
So,
Motion.
go ahead.
Did you have something to say before I?
Nope.
Do we have to do each one separate? A and B? 'Cause-
No, A was just receiving it, so we're.
Oh, okay,
Or, yeah, B and then C is the emergency clause.
okay.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2026-12.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. And C, consider application and approval of emergency clause for ordinance number 2020-12.
So moved.
Second?
Copy.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. Item 11, consideration and possible action to approve resolution number 2026-15, authorizing the city manager to administer and implement the public construction contract with Downey Contracting LLC for the managed residual project at the water treatment facility, Oklahoma Department of Commerce, CDBG project number 19758, CDBG 25.
So just like we've done with the airport hangar project, the plant roof, and the main kill-out project, you guys authorized me to manage that, approve change orders like that within the budget constraints, and approved by our engineer. And the recommendation would be to do the same thing on this residuals project.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-15.
Second.
Copy.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. Item 12, approve the specifications for the police station metal roof overbuild and authorize the city manager to advertise the project for competitive bids.
I don't see that.
You don't have that?
Hmm?
Is that part of
It's
it?
not on your agenda?
On the, so I opened
It's
up
on
the
the updated one.
updated.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not in the council packet online.
Yeah, you're right, it's not.
Is it on that one? Sorry, I didn't get that one on there.
So which one was published? The updated one?
Yes. The updated one was one that was published.
Okay.
So I got both of them. I got the email and I have the online. They were opened up and I got both of them.
My number 12 says discuss strategic plan.
One, two.
Yeah, so that's the one posted online, but Chris, you
one
posted
posted is
the
the-
agenda, which is the one that really counts for this meeting,
One
and that
posted.
includes the new one.
It's actually got the documents in the back though. It's not on the agenda, but it's documents from there.
And you got the online version?
Yes, yeah, the document's there.
Yeah.
So I'll just do it.
We're seeing that.
Yeah, you're right, there it is, page, no, it's not. Page number
So is this one on the?
68.
So is this one on the published agenda?
Yes.
Okay.
We can talk about it.
Okay.
So we're just sending it out to bid,
Yeah, correct. So we, you guys approved for this several months back, but given the size of it in terms of dollar amount, we need to go through this specific bidding process and then price that contract that will ultimately be signed and approved.
Is there any ways we could make the project smaller so it's not such a big deal?
Tell me more about your thinking.
So I think right now we're planning to connect the two roads and all these other things, which I personally think is going to cause more problems in the long run. Or if we just did the roof over that and figured out a secondary way to provide a walking space between the two, it might be a lot cheaper. Just thought. I didn't know if we had analyzed it in those terms.
I don't know that there's a whole lot more of just the roofs connecting though, at this stage. I mean, we've talked about maybe doing something in the future, but that's not part of this.
So currently, we're not connecting them in this project?
Mm-hmm.
No, this would just be the roof to save our facility that we invested in. Now it's a flat roof. It's just a matter of days before it leaks and ruins everything we've done already. So it's just a roof more like a rain barrier.
Sure.
So water trickles, but no, phase 2 is that maybe next year if there's budget. I mean, we're not worried about the center right now. That's a future wish list, but it's not nothing.
Well, this is just the roof on the...
Yes.
No, well, this
And that's
puts the
not
picture
extending over to this building?
It does.
Yes.
No, it does.
Okay, so it is extending.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do walls down, it doesn't do the walking space underneath. It's just.
Not enclosing the breezeway.
Right.
Correct, yeah.
But
Just
you're
a
putting a
roof over that.
roof over one building, connecting it to a second building.
And that increases I would have increased this
There's some
cost.
structural issues there. Could be.
Yeah, we've had, we've had engineers come out and look at it. The engineer from the firm came out and looked, he looked and made specifications, and so I'm not an engineer, but I can say that the experts have looked at it and said there's not going to be those issues. And that's really all I can say about it, because I don't know what's about engineering. In terms of cost, no, we looked at two options, but you guys, as a council, told me to move ahead with this one, so that's what I did. The other option was to just do the flat roof over there rather than a pitched roof.
Originally, when we did the tours, we talked about a roof like you're talking about, but just on that building over there, not extending all the way over, just to protect that roof.
That was not something I ever got a bid on. I don't know.
That was my question. Can we get a bid on that differences?
If that's what council wants me to do, of course.
Or just do a deduct on this.
Did we already budget an amount
Apparently,
for
it's
this?
it's a connection. It's a breezeway connection. And so we could do a deduct, if you like.
I mean, we can get the competitive bids for the whole thing and then scale it back. See where it comes off what we budgeted. Because if they come in above, then we would have to cut back anyway.
I would have them deduct it in the original bid, or at least put it separately, or however they do the bid that way, and not have to go out for bids again. That's not good practice.
Yeah, you're right, and I worry a little bit about doing it in terms of like a new project, because people are already saying no to everyone about, it's like, I'm busy enough, I'm not gonna come bid your project 5 times.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to approve today is just to go out and get bids. We're not approving the project as a bid.
That's correct. You're just getting bids.
Put their bid on it the way.
Well, no, that's right, I guess I'm getting, why not put this forward as, we want it both ways?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
let me interrupt, because that's not totally true. This process has gone backwards. Because of the amount and things, we thought we would just be able to get the bids like normal. That wasn't the case. We have to go through this more competitive bidding process. So we already have 2 bids for this project. One was $750,000, one was $140,000. So this bid package has been put to the specs of that $140,000 process. We've tried to get 3rd bids, we can't get anyone to bid on it. But I guess what I'm saying is, yes, we will send this out for bids. We're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get any new bids. We've reached out to several other people and they won't even come bid it. It's an abnormal project, right? It's something that most people are like, I've never done that before, I don't want to do it.
Right.
And so to say, hey, we're gonna structure this differently and go out for bids, I think it's deceiving you. It's not gonna work that. You're not gonna get any bids back.
I just wondered.
We are gonna put it at a bid house, and
Right.
contractors do go into bid houses, not gonna just be published in the paper. So, we could get,
Yeah, I mean, there's always a possibility. I'm
Sure.
saying, I think your chance.
but roofers are busy.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the complexity is also part of the reason.
That's what I was just wondering, if it's more of a, we're gonna convert this one building to a pitch roof versus flat, we might get more interest than we
Right.
are. But then, I've just got a gut feeling that transition is scaring some people away.
That's where I'm at too.
Yeah, you may.
But the $140,000 bid is what we want to do. I mean, you've covered the whole thing. I mean,
That was the recommendation. That was approved several council meetings ago.
And what we budget for it? Have we budgeted?
Yeah, we got an insurance payout for, now you're testing me. Was it 200 or 200? Yeah, $10,000. And we're splitting the fire department and this project to do both.
If that's the true cost.
I mean, the other way to do it is to do a TPO roof, leave flat. And,
I don't think anybody's interested in that.
right.
I don't think maybe, I don't know for a fact, but at that price, I don't think the savings warrants trying to do two projects, because it's going to be another 30 to 40% higher for mobilization on the next project.
It'll make the total price be more than what it would if we did it all at one time.
That's correct.
So then you can ask for 2 bids and see what we can get. Right? I mean,
See if anything comes back,
Right.
and then we can come back and say, no one bid on this one, but we have this previous bid that meets the
Right.
criteria.
Yeah. I think that would make us all feel better.
Okay. So are we wanting to do, just to be clear, are we keeping the scope as it was in this package where it's extending out, or are we wanting to double it back?
that would be the 2 bids. So one be just the roof.
Oh, two projects, okay.
We just want an alternate. You want an
Right.
alternate, that's all you,
Alternate.
that's simple. It's a covered breezeway. We're gonna have that takeout.
Yeah, for the second
Or
alternate.
just a standalone roof, pitched
Yes.
roof
Right.
on that building.
Right. And then the covered breezeway is an alternate that they can throw in. Okay.
I understand now. I thought you were saying a set
Easy.
to get, never mind, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah.
I was
What would it cost just for
and I
that roof,
understand.
and then what would it cost for the roof and the
Yeah.
breezeway?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll come back to some.
So do we need to make a motion that kind of says that?
Yeah, I would
I'll
approve.
second your motion.
I would make a motion advertise for bids with the ad alternate as discussed.
Okay. I'll move whatever Bob said.
That's good, second.
And Coffee second.
Yep.
Coffee,
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Kolar,
Yes.
Rupp,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. Okay, 13, now we'll discuss the strategic plan and infrastructure.
Yes, we talked a little bit about this tonight already with really the quiet zones down to infrastructure. And then we've talked about several projects, but I thought the last thing that I would do is share that project overview tab that we've added to our website. So Tyson, if you would share my screen for me. So one thing that you guys asked as a council is to be able to highlight projects, timelines, and kind of the things that we have. And so this is an attempt to do that a little bit more clearly for public. So if you go to our website now, there's a projects overview tab on the homepage. And we will keep this up to date. It basically just has a list of all of our projects that we're currently working on, with the exception of streets. It has them go to that other page that I already showed, but breaks down railroad projects, sidewalk projects, 25th Street improvements, the hospital, water treatment plant upgrades, the sludge box system, the main kill out, and even has some private projects on there as well, just so that things that people ask about, they can jump into this and say, hey, where are we at? And it shows a description, it shows, zoom in a little bit.
I like this.
Yeah.
Shows where we're at with the current stage, the cost, kind of the steps, and then the check mark shows when that stage has been completed. Beginning dates, anticipated ending dates, and then even breaks down like cost for city versus funding sources, and then just has some notes. So hopefully as you get questions from community members, you can jump into this and take a look and say, oh, this project's in this stage, it's supposed to be done state, or people will ask, well, how much did it cost? And you'll be able to look at this. We're gonna start making a practice to whenever people ask questions to kind of show them this resource so that they can jump in and start doing it themselves, so.
I like it. I think the only question, was that item that you've got selected there.
Locust Street.
Let's say it finishes tonight. What would happen to it?
Yeah, great question. So there's really two options. One would be delete it, which I don't really like. I think putting it down below as a completed project.
Yes.
Or another tab,
Or another
maybe?
tab.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. Easy. Public view, completed projects or
Yeah.
something.
I don't know if you have like a tab for like each year maybe, so you can go back and pull it up or.
Just
or-
put
or
completed
just
and
put-
write the.
Yeah, put the year on there.
next to it.
When they click on it, confetti, do.
Like when
That's a
you
type-
get your
that's a
birthday
type.
text somebody in.
But yeah, it'd be easy to make another tab. And I do like that idea so that people can pop, like, oh, that's, I mean, to the point of highlighting wins, right?
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
delete it, you don't see the wins.
Well, the Brahms to BMX side being worked on right now, and it's on this list. It'd be great to be able to see it down there as completed.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and I don't know this, it helped get close. Talking about how much we spent on water projects.
Yeah.
Over,
Yeah.
and it's a lot. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is.
Yeah.
probably 20 years has been 20 million, I don't know, but it's a lot. And
At least.
I couldn't answer the question, but if we had the complete, we could kind of go out and,
Mhm.
so maybe in the future, more things too, like can we categorize and other stuff,
Yeah,
but
street.
Great
it's
start.
it looks like a great win to start out with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Economic development, housing, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Appreciate the feedback. Yeah, as you work on this, as you have other ideas, let us know. Love to make this better. Honestly, I probably made this document a year ago, and it's just so much to stay on top of all. Then I finally said, it's not going to be perfect, but something is better than nothing, and this is the something. So.
No, this is good.
Mhm.
I mean, if you really want to go into it, you can see even the steps, which have the check mark next to them, don't. I mean, this is definitely under the communication tab of our strategic plan for sure.
Yeah. I really have to credit Tyson. He's done a job recently with website stuff and just adding, I mean, you look at strategic plans on there and he designed that and made it look really nice. He added this to the website. He added streets project to the website. And Autumn is the other one doing a really good job. She's keeping this stuff up to date.
And I think that alludes to again, future things that we talk about are maybe better tools to manage these things other than a PDF and a spreadsheet. There's other opportunities that we may not have access to today.
Yeah.
For tonight, I'm going to say it's a great win, but you talked about how hard, you've been working on this for a year.
Yeah.
But if we had some other tools, it might be easier. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
As it goes along, it just kind of becomes part of the SOP when you're working on stuff. It's just, we got to update it.
Yep.
So with the current outages with electricity, are there any big concerns for that we're going to have to look at in the near future?
No, I haven't been able to analyze the document, but just a preliminary, I did just glance at it and look at compared to the other OMPA cities. And they actually had OMPA, they had co-ops on there, so it's not just OMPA cities, and we were really, really competitive with our frequency and duration of outages. 99
Yeah, it
point,
was
yeah,
really
4
high.
or something.
I was surprised at it.
The other cities were
Well, I was just
99.6.
wondering about the actual infrastructure of that. Was it just some normal things, or is there some high
Is it
dollar
squirrels, or
expenses
was it-
that's going to be?
Yeah, it's actually a really good question because there's always stuff you could do to make it better, right? You trim trees more and you're going to have less outages. You are constantly updating your equipment, you have less outages. But and then there's things that happen that you couldn't have prepared for. It wouldn't have mattered, right? Lightning strike.
Like today.
Yeah, or the creek washing out a pole, And so it's tough. It's a tough balancing act, and ultimately, you budget what you can to try to maintain stuff, and you look at this data to say, well, are we, higher in outages? Because if we are, well, we clearly need to do something, right? Or is this just the worm? And I'll tell you, every resident thinks that their town has the most outages, I'm sure you guys have gotten text messages recently about outages, and why do we have more outages than everyone else? And it's like, I don't know that we do, and I'll be able to answer that question better in 2 weeks. But
But I guess to kind of follow up what I think Joe's asking is that the recent outages that we've had, no one drove up to them and said, holy cow, we've got a major issue that we've got to work towards the future, or this was water washed out a pole, or tree branch fell on a line.
Yeah, all of them were like that. One of them, the only one that happened actually that really could have been prevented very easily, and I say very easy, but there was some wiring underground that was antiquated that maybe should have been changed out before. But then the issue with that is you put it on schedule, but you're paying a lot more because sometimes it'll exceed that schedule, by years and years and years. And so it's kind of a hard balancing act. But yeah, there was nothing major. It was all stuff that just happened. Lightning strikes, heat overloads, and wind, causing tree branches. You guys probably saw that one on Facebook where I think this was the start of July. Yeah, it was the 4th and 5th. The creek washed out that pole. So things that couldn't have been avoided and things that have been rectified as the issues have come up. So for example, they took that pole down and they reset poles further along the on that creek. So, did you have something?
Oh, no, I'm just pulling up the chart. He'll bring it next meeting. I mean, 99.9963 was the number of.
I'm not concerned about that.
Yeah,
Because if you've ever lived the country, I think you'll appreciate what you have in town a lot more, because you don't get it fixed in 30 minutes when you live 20 miles from anywhere. So our electric crews is second to none in my books. I think they do a great job. So the only thing that concerned me was that post after the last one where you out 6 or 8 hours or whatever it was that part of the town was out. Over a weekend, the post of the city said something about going to have to get with OPA to get a long-term solution with. That's the one that I didn't know what that meant. That sounded bigger than just a tree limb on the line.
Yeah, so that one was there were two issues. One was the underground line that I just talked about, which was ours. And then OMPA had some, Wheatley were here, he knows all the terms, but they had something in their substation that needs upgrading.
Okay.
And they haven't done that portion yet, but it is on their list.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions about infrastructure or things you guys want to discuss? We've hit it pretty hard tonight, but it's been kind of throughout this meeting, rather than just one item.
I'm with Derek. I'm very proud of the work we've done. Every night on the news, there's a small town or a city that's got boil water running out. But we're not in that boat. And I just want to make sure we're doing everything around this table to make sure we don't get in that boat. And killing those old water mains, huge step in the right direction. Especially in this heat and with all the watering, our water pressure is good. So hats off to the team.
I'll pass that on. Yeah, it's really the effort over many, many years, securing water rights, clear back 40 years ago and keeping those, and then engineering, and obviously our water crews. Vernon is so good at staying on top. He just has all this stuff in his mind that he's just really, really good at keeping plates spinning. So thank you. I'll pass it on.
We are part of our water program that's updating the chemical adding and stuff at the plant, correct?
It is, yeah. Yeah, the
I did have someone say that they seem like when they turn their water on, they can smell chlorine and different stuff sometimes. I thought we were in the process of upgrading all that.
Yeah, we are. I don't know what's causing that issue, so I'm not going to say what we're doing is going to fix it, but I will say that they can always reach out to our plant if it concerns, and we could come out and test things, to make sure that things are how they're supposed to be. So.
Okay.
I bet it's like chlorine and be brown.
Mm-hmm. He said that, and I said, well, you're
What just whitens your teeth?
No extra charge on that.
All right, well, any other questions for Nate? Seeing none, we'll go on to item number 15, upcoming meeting review.
So I've got a couple things. It shouldn't be a crazy meeting next one, but let me pull up my agenda real quick. So quality of life, what we'll be discussing for the strategic plan update. I'll give you guys an update on kind of where we're at with the bullet points and goals that you guys have set for that portion of the strategic plan. And then in terms of other items on the agenda, we'll be reviewing the financials because those didn't get put on this meeting because of some issues with Cassell that we were having, rates and outages. We'll talk about some Malzahn grants that we've got. And that's all I have so far. Other stuff will probably come up, but that's what I've got so far.
Okay. Item 15, do we have any new business? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and adjourn. All right, let's call our meeting to order for the Perry Municipal Authority and have roll.
Coffee.
Here.
Bledsoe.
Here.
Marshall. Here. Davis. Here. Goldar.
Here.
Rupp.
Here.
Williams. O'Shea. Wortham.
Here, we've got item 1, our consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. All right, we'll go down to item 5, amend the PMA budget by transferring $70,000 from PMA carry forward reserve account to the PMA airport fund.
Motion approved. Second. And Coffee. Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Goldar.
Yep.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. Item 6, any new business? If not, we will adjourn. Call our meeting to order for the Perry Facilities Authority and have roll call.
Coffee.
Here.
Bledsoe.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
Davis. Here. Goldar.
Here.
Rupp.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
O'Shea. Wortham.
Here, we've got quorum, item 1, our consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. Item 5, any new business? Nope, adjourn.